What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celios Network. We've got some big Pokemon TCG news coming in less than 12 hours. The Pokemon Japan YouTube has a premiere video set for 6 a.m. my time on December 15th. And Poke Beach said that they are announcing the new Battle Style Pokemon V in this YouTube presentation. So there's a lot of stuff that we know about that's coming soon in the Pokemon TCG in Japan, since they get the stuff first, but we don't have specifics. We know Single Strike Master and Rapid Strike Master is the next set. We know that they talked about Single Strike and Rapid Strike cards. We know they talked about V-Star and V-Union mechanic. And so there's a lot of stuff to speculate about, a lot of new mechanics, potentially new cards, new sets that we aren't entirely sure what they're going to do yet. But we do know like the names of these things. So this video, we're going to be talking about my predictions and, more important, the community's predictions on what the Single Strike and Rapid Strike cards are going to be. Of course, shout out to PotownStore.com, the best place for you to get PTCGO codes. Be sure to use code CELIO for 5% off over there for your Pokemon TCG online cards. And yeah, so today I asked Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and my Discord, what do you think the Single Strike and Rapid Strike cards are going to be? And that is what we're going to talk about today. So let's look at what the community had to say. Brett Stratton said, "I'll be surprised if this is anything besides Urshifu forms. Same name card, but different forms, so you're locked into 4 copies between both. Lock me in for the Buzzkill option." So this is the most mild guess, I guess you could have, right? That Single Strike is just going to be Urshifu Single Strike form, and Rapid Strike will just be Urshifu Rapid Strike form, just like in the video games. It's just going to be the name of this Urshifu and the name of that Urshifu, and you can only have 4 copies between both. One is the fighting water type, and one is the fighting dark type. So yeah, it could just be what they're calling each Urshifu card. That could be it. So Brett gave us the most mild option here. Next, Aaron says, "I think it'll be the Urshifu cards." Okay, yep, we kind of know it's going to be based around Urshifu. So Aaron said Rapid Strike would be Omega Barrage, being able to attack more than one time. Single Strike would probably resemble Delta Plus, giving extra benefits, but only for the one Pokemon. So what Aaron is referring to here are the the ancient traits, which I will pull up here for you guys. So these are ancient traits. What you see on Articuno right here, it has the Delta Plus, and it reads, "If your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack of this Pokemon, take 1 more prize card." I think that's a realistic possibility for what Single Strike could be. Maybe you have an incredibly strong attack, or an incredibly weak attack, but you take 1 more prize card for it. And we'll get to kind of the invert of that later on in the video, like if you would take less prize cards for your attack. But yeah, it could be something like Delta Plus. You have fairly weak attacks on the Pokemon, but you take extra prize cards for the knockout, but it's only on that Pokemon, unlike ADP where it's everything taking prize cards. Articuno was never a problem card. It was a solid card that was played in water decks, but it wasn't an issue like ADP is. And then the other one he mentioned was Omega Barrage. This Pokemon may attack twice a turn. If the first attack knocks out your opponent's active Pokemon, you may attack again after your opponent chooses a new active Pokemon. I think that is an incredibly realistic possibility for what Rapid Strike could be, something just like that. Next, we have James, who said tag team supporters, but basically with 2 groups, so Single Strike, Rapid Strike, and different search support for each that counts both for trainers and pokes. So James here is saying that the Single Strike and Rapid Strike cards will be like tag team supporters, and you choose between either the Single Strike option, which would get you like 1 thing but specific, or 1 thing but it's vague, or like the Rapid Strike and it would search for multiple things but a weaker search, something like that. Or just in the fact that the tag team supporters have options, so something like that. You can use the Single Strike option or the Rapid Strike option. Eliza says, I think they might be number of copies cards. So like the mechanic will be how many copies of the card you can play. Rapid would be you can play more than 4 of it in a deck, where typically in the Pokemon trading card game, you can only play 4 copies of a card. Unless it's a basic energy, you can play more. And then so Rapid Strike would allow you to play 4+ copies, and single you could only play 1 copy or 1 or 2 copies or less copies than the Rapid. So I think that would be cool, although I don't think that's what they will do. I do think that would be a cool design. Mork Lee says, what I hope it is the return of something like Ancient Traits. Double Strike sounds like Omega Barrier. Single Strike sounds like it would be a repeat of Alpha Growth or Delta Plus. So yeah, like I said, the Delta Plus, that is what Articuno had. So I think that's definitely realistic. BMAX says, I'm hoping for support Pokemon that could provide options for coming into play. So maybe like a Pokemon that you have a Single Strike or Rapid Strike option to use. They're both on the card, but you only get to use one of them. Maybe multi-use lower effects. I'd like to see Parallel City type of decisions back. I agree. Or stronger effects, like your non-GXV Pokemon do 40 more to your opponent's GX or V Pokemon. Effects that encourage strategic and thought-provoking gameplay. Improved GX attack would be cool too. Yeah, like I talked about in a previous video that I will pop up on the screen, link down below, something like that. How I thought maybe we could have a strike counter, and once a turn you can activate Single Strike or Rapid Strike, whatever that may be. And I kind of like how BMAC is alluding to that with the improved GX attack. Talonite X said, from video game to TCG, I'm thinking it will most likely work like Ultra Beast. So the way Ultra Beast had the tag on them that said Ultra Beast, and then certain cards were designated for that. And then he says, with their own designated trainer cards for each style, like Team Aqua, Team Magma type cards, and having unique abilities like Ancient Traits. And Talonite posted the Mega Ray because Mega Ray has Ancient Trait that allows it to evolve immediately. So Rapid Strike could be evolving immediately, like Mega Rayquaza. I hadn't thought of that previous to this video, but yeah, Rapid Strike could be it gets to evolve immediately, and then maybe, but it has weaker attacks because it can evolve so quickly. So yeah, I think these are some cool possibilities that Talonite brought up here. Next, we've got Jake. Jake said his predictions are once per game, Urshifu can either attack twice or gets a once per game powerful attack, Single Strike. So yeah, either gets to attack twice with its Rapid Strike attack or gets to a once per game GX like powerful Single Strike attack. So again, that strike counter. I would love to bring that counter back since we're rotating out GX next year. But what Jake said he hopes it will be, Urshifu lets you train one of your existing Pokemon in play to attack twice or have their attack boosted in some way. I can see that being an issue, but also adding more depth to the game. Because if you can, if they let Urshifu attack twice, they get to control what attack is getting to be used twice, just like on that Medicham we looked at and on the Articuno. Those things were never problematic because they were stuck to that Pokemon, whereas something like Alter Creation GX is problematic because you can combine it with future cards that come out that kind of break the card. Next, we've got Alex Wilson that said any Urshifu V can evolve into either VMAX form, red or blue, of which will be dual type. So I do want to talk about the dual type thing. But first, Alex also says you can't have both VMAX forms in the same deck like the DLC. I don't think they'll do that. But Urshifu V, I can't imagine it not getting a VMAX because it Gigantamaxes in the video game, and this set is going to be all about Urshifu. And the Crown Tundra, I'm sorry, the Isle of Armor. Yeah, the Isle of Armor. Crown Tundra is down the line. So yeah, this is going to be all about Urshifu, and Isle of Armor was basically just about Urshifu. I think what they might do is make Urshifu V fighting type, and then make the VMAXs water and dark. I'm not sure if they're going to bring back dual type, especially with VMAXs being worth 3 prizes. Having a dual type Pokemon that can knock out a multitude of VMAX Pokemon because of weakness would be kind of dangerous. So dual typing seems really scary to try when we have VMAX Pokemon, or 3 prize Pokemon in general. I loved dual typing in the past, but I don't necessarily think it's the right move when we have 3 prize Pokemon that, you know, if Urshifu VMAX is like a monster card, then that's making anything weak to water and fighting or weak to dark and fighting just terrible. But I do think we'll have 2 VMAX forms, but I would really like to see Urshifu V be fighting, and then each of its forms be water or dark. Mary says single strike could be attacks like Eviltal's GX attack, so Doom Count, where you get like an instant knockout, but it has a cost or a condition. And Rapid Strike could be like Hoopa's GX attack. I like that. Hoopa's GX attack, which allows you to place 3 damage counters 6 times. I like that. And this one's from my Discord. Mboss said maybe there'll be something like Break Pokemon. The way the name is worded just implies to that they are not going to be normal V cards. And then Josh below says theory is ancient traits, and we did already discuss the ancient traits, the Omega Barrier and the Delta Plus. Next, we've got Daniel. In my personal opinion, Single Strike guarantees a knockout, but you take 1 less prize card. I love this. I think this is cool. Make a card with an overpowered attack. Maybe it does like 200 for 2 energy or something like that, but you take 1 less prize card. So if you're hitting a 2 prize Pokemon, you take 1. If your opponent has a single prize deck, you would have to adapt and not use this Pokemon because you'll take 0 prize cards on all of their single prize Pokemon. I think that would be really neat. And then Rapid Strike X damage, but it will be doubled on the next turn and continue growing stronger each turn. I have a problem with that because of switching effects. That would never be relevant, so I don't think they would make their big poster card something like that. But if it was something that allowed you to keep the effect through the turns, so it kept growing even if that Pokemon's knocked out, or even if that Pokemon switched out or an effect happens or something like that. Because attacks like this are never good because your opponent can just gust around it, or in past formats escape rope it, or if you had a switch for some reason it loses the effect. But I love the Single Strike idea here from Daniel, and I think the Rapid Strike idea he has could be reworked a little bit. I would love if the Single Strike idea was like that. Next, interesting, would Single Strike be a one-time use attack, and Rapid Strike maybe lets you attack first? I think that's a possibility too. The only problem with that is I think the Rapid Strike and Single Strikes are going to be on VMAXs, which is why I said maybe Rapid Strike will let you evolve on turn 1, or evolve straight away the first turn it's out. But Rapid Strike on other Pokemon that aren't Urshifu, if that's going to be a thing, letting you attack going first, interesting. Or maybe if the Pokemon's down, you can use supporters on your first turn. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities. Hopefully Creatures did something interesting with it. Tony Chen says form changes. You can swap between both Urshifu forms. I will say I 99% doubt this would ever happen, because I don't think they would want to lose the appeal of having multiple Urshifu VMAXs, and they're also releasing 2 mini sets in Japan, so I think this is impossible. But what I think he's alluding to here is like a flip card, like on one side it's Urshifu VMAX Water, and on the other side it's Urshifu VMAX Dark. I believe that's what Tony's alluding to. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, of course, but I think that's impossible because they are releasing 2 mini sets in Japan, one for Single Strike Urshifu and one for Rapid Strike Urshifu. And this is the last one. Perhaps Single Strike will do big damage on the active, and Rapid Strike is a means for bench spread. Well, I think that's a possibility. I don't think it fits the theme of Urshifu enough. And I don't think this is one of the likely ones, but this would be like fine. It wouldn't be like game breaking, and it doesn't seem like it would be like completely underwhelming. I just don't think it will fit the theme of Urshifu very much. So that's all of the community comments I wanted to include today. Thank you all for participating in that. Be sure to join my Discord, which the link is down below, and follow me on Twitter, so in the future when I ask for opinions like that, you can participate. Just wanted to go quick back to the Poke Beach announcement and reread one part of it for you guys. Early product descriptions of the set mentioned they would feature Single Strike and Rapid Strike cards, but we interpreted this as a vague reference to Urshifu in both its forms. Early product descriptions are purposefully vague to cause excitement, but since Creatures is doing a special video and making a pre-announcement, which is unusual. Could this battle style be something more, or is it just going to be Urshifu V and VMAX? So we'll be finding out very, very soon. And also, this is the channel. If you type Pokemon Japan, you should be able to find this channel, and you can set a reminder to watch the premiere in 8 hours. I'm going to try to wake up to watch it live and record my reaction and everything like that, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really love doing videos like this, so I hope you all enjoyed it, so I can continue doing these if everybody likes it. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We hit 5,000 subs, guys. Let's go. But yeah, subscribe to the channel if you have not already for daily Pokemon TCG content. Thank you all so much for the support. Shout out PotownStore.com, and have a great day. I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.